when it gets to the point that a man is ignoring you, oftentimes what that means, and this is the ugly truth, but sometimes we just need to hear the truth so that we can change our approach, is that he's lost attraction and he might not be as into you as he once was. The good news is we can turn that around. The bad news is that if a man is ignoring you, oftentimes it is because the attraction went down because again, men are very simple creatures in a way. They move towards what feels good and they move away from what doesn't feel good. It's really that simple. When a man is ignoring you, oftentimes what's happening is his attraction level to you has gone down. And I want you to think about this just logically, right? When you're attracted to something and you are attracted to a man, you're not going to be moving away from him. You're going to be moving toward him. You want more connection with him. You're excited by him and you're excited by your interaction and you want more and more and more. So this is exactly how a man feels. When a man feels good around a woman and he is interested in her and he enjoys her energy and likes to be around her, he's going to want more of that. He's not going to want to put any sort of space in between them, nor is he going to want to risk losing her. And what ignoring a woman does, or creating space with a woman does, is it opens up the potential for other men to sweep in and to capture your heart. And a man is never going to do that if the attraction level is high, because he never wants to put himself in a position of risk of losing you. And so if a man is at a point where he is ignoring you, what's happening is his attraction level to you has gone down. It's gone down sometimes so much, and I hate to say this, I know this is going to be really triggering, but just stay with me a little bit. um it's gone down so much that he's willing to let you be available to other men. And usually it's gotten to this point because there's been a lot of control on the side of the woman. So if a relationship started off hot and heavy, and there's like various different situations that could happen, and every situation is different. But when I'm speaking about this, just try to put yourself in one of the scenarios to see if this is kind of what's happened, where initially there's like mutual interest and a man will approach you and he'll try to date you, etc., and it'll feel good to you, and um, you'll sort of like let your guard down, right? And sometimes this is why I go into the inner work, is if we let our guard down too quickly without a man putting effort and time into us over a period of time, because again, just because a man sees you and you're attractive and you're nice doesn't mean that that is going to keep a man invested in you or interested in you into the long run. Because for men, their determinants for falling in love is very different for us as women, or a healthy man, right? A healthy man needs to see that a woman is going to be in her worth over a period of time, not just, with a few advances or a few days. But in this situation, let's say, the guy's doing the right things. He's interested in you, he's calling you, maybe he's setting up dates. For a woman, this is where it's really empowering to do your inner work, and why I advocate, personal development over anything, right? Like the investment towards you, and learning about yourself is the greatest determinant for what's going to happen in your life. And, it's going to help you grow, and you'll never put yourself in a one down situation with men. But in these situations, what happens is when a woman hasn't worked that much on herself, and sometimes women will say to me, Laura, I've done all this work, but then they're single, they're having, bad experiences with men, they're not happy with their income level. That's because we haven't done the work, right? And again, this is triggering, but I always say that your outside reality is going to reflect your inner state. And so if you're in a position where you're not making the money that you want, or you're not attracting the men that you want, or you're consistently ghosted, or men are attracted to you, but then they disappear and you can't get like to the next level of commitment, it just means that yes, you might have done inner work to get to that situation, but you need more inner work to get to the next level of commitment. And so with men, what often happens is as soon as they give a little bit, so a little bit is, a few dates, let's say, or they call, very minimal investment, the woman will get interested in the guy. Normal, right? As women, we are connection oriented. So I always want you to keep that in mind. We are going to desire connection, especially with a man, because that makes us feel good. That's just normal. And the reason I say to hold off with sex, or like hold off with any sort of physical intimacy, it's not because of a game or a strategy, but for a few reasons. For one, we want to value ourselves and we want to also preserve our heart, right? As women, when we are physical with a man and we have that bond, we develop a bond with them, but they don't connect that way. And a woman normally by this point has given herself away to a man, either her heart because of the words that he's saying, right? So you never just want to focus on words, or she's being intimate with him. When this happens and a man feels like, okay, I got her, right? And this is sad to say, but this is the truth. As soon as a man feels, okay, I got her, he can just sense it. What happens with women is that we start to become a little bit more controlling of the situation. And so a man might not be pursuing us as much as we would like or as much as he was initially before he got us, and we want to reestablish that connection. And so what we do as women is we will start calling, we will start initiating, and maybe we will even get mad at him. Getting mad at a man before any level of commitment makes you look really, really desperate and really, really weak, and will always put you below a man, because the person that is, losing emotional control or showing their emotions that early on, especially their negative emotions, often is the person that is more invested. And so as a woman, you really want to protect yourself and not give so much away to a man that hasn't earned that. Sometimes I'll read the comments and women will say, well, this is all games, this is strategy, and why can't I just be myself and do whatever I want? Well, you can. If it's working for you, do you. In these situations, it's often not working for you to lose emotional control with a man, because what you will end up finding is that this man will become turned off by that behavior and he'll start ignoring you. So the ignoring starts to happen when a man is, either he's confused about you. So oftentimes what will happen is a man will meet a woman that he's very physically attracted to, and he'll think, wow, there's like, she's very beautiful, and she's not so easy to get, she's like not falling all over me right away, and he'll be interested in her. And what will happen in these situations is the woman will give way too much access to herself very quickly, very easily. And a man that is interested in this woman will still try to pursue her, but he'll start to notice that something within him feels off. It feels different. And the reason it feels different is because she was too easy. And I hate to say this, but again, men are hardwired for challenge. Even if they don't admit it, they are. And last night I went to dinner with a few of my friends, and one of my friends, very high value masculine man, met this girl, and she operates and functions exactly the way that I do. And it was just so amazing to see that my friend, and this is several years that I've known him, like maybe 9 years, has never been interested in a woman the way he is with her. And the reason for that is she never messages him, she never calls him first, she does her own thing. And there were a few things that he was not um, happy about, I guess. And he conveyed that to her. And her response to him, because it's only been like 5 days, her response was to him was something like, this is kind of going too fast. Like, I don't know if I really feel comfortable with getting into this kind of stuff so soon with you. And he didn't like that. And he didn't talk to her for like 2 days. And then he realized on his own accord, maybe I was being judgmental, and I didn't give her the benefit of the doubt. And he contacted her. She never contacted him. And so this is a woman that has high self worth. And when I was talking to my friend about it, he was saying that, and because I obviously am very, I approve. And I said to him that you don't like what she's doing, but a part of you does like it. You don't like it, but you like it. And he agreed. Because oftentimes what happens, and he even admitted it like on his own, that if something is just too easy to get, he gets bored. And that's kind of what's happened. This is what happens with high value men, where women will start taking the pursuer role, and a man won't really know what happened. A man will think, huh, I did like her, but now her energy just doesn't feel good. Maybe it feels like she changed. And because men don't know how to deal with their feelings, they can't really understand what's going on with them, especially when they initially liked you. What they do is they start to take a step back. And oftentimes a man will ignore, because men don't really feel good in hurting a woman's feelings. They don't know how to communicate that maybe I'm not interested. And sometimes they're confused. Sometimes that they feel they don't know that they feel uninterested anymore. Sometimes they just need to take a step back to see how they feel about you. Anytime a man is ignoring you, the attraction is gone or the attraction is down. And so the way that you want to resume or regain that attraction from a man is to also take space and to also take distance. If a man is like when a man takes space because he's ignoring you and he doesn't know how he feels about you, and you also take that same amount of space, what it does, is it creates that attraction again, because a man starts thinking about you and wondering where you went. The beautiful part about a woman that chases is that once you stop chasing, it is going to activate a man's ego, because it is going to make a man wonder and think about what happened. And if you play your cards right when he comes back, you can regain that attraction, which is essentially what we want. And so in a situation where a man is ignoring you, oftentimes 100% the attraction has gone down. It's not a bad thing. Awareness is everything, because when we know this, we can shift our approach. When a man is also ignoring you, it's also what's happening is, he's taking space because he doesn't know what's going on. And instead of you giving him that space, you're chasing him. You're asking him where he is. You're trying to set up a date. You're trying to plan like the next outing. And, it's because he doesn't know how he feels about you. He's either going to be polite or he's just going to ignore you, because you might not be getting the hints and the cues, right? I always say that real men show you how they feel in terms of the way they act and their actions, not their words. And so if their actions are not setting up a date or ignoring your messages, that's telling you something, because a man that is interested in you and a man that has a high degree of attraction for you is not going to do that. I don't want to say that a man ignoring you is taking space because he's rebuilding his testosterone, or he just needs a certain level of space from you, because I can tell you that men that are very very much attracted to women never ever want space. And when there is space, the space is organic, meaning, there's just organic space in the relationship, because a high value masculine man is busy. He's not all about you in the relationship. There's other things that are going on in his life, which organically just create space. But his desire to be with you is always going to be there, and his drive is always going to be there. If you are a woman that's in her feminine energy, you feel good to be around, you're pleasant to be around, he's always going to want to be with you. So he's never going to ignore you, ever. The only time a man ignores a woman is if the attraction level kind of goes down. So I encourage you to read the books, read Secrets of the Feminine Woman to learn how to be more in your feminine, and read What Men Want to understand more about the mindset of a masculine man. Do the inner work course in the feminine woman shadow, because without the inner work, it's very difficult to um, maintain your level of self worth, because your actions are always followed by your beliefs, right? You don't feel good about yourself, your actions are going to show that, they're going to demonstrate that. So it's always an inside outside sort of game. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.